All right, Nick Emanuel and Jamari from Kentucky with us now on the dais. Coach Calipari coming up in just a little bit. He's scheduled for 3:30. We'll get a microphone to you. Put your hand up. We'll get a mic to you if you want to start with questions for the Kentucky players. We'll be here for the next 10, 15 minutes or so. I'll start off then. First impressions of this Wofford team. Did you guys watch the game yesterday, and what do you think of the Terriers? Anybody, go ahead.
I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I know they can shoot the ball really well, and I just know we have to guard the three in order to win the game.
Anybody else? Any other thoughts on Wofford? First thoughts?
Yeah, I watched a little bit at the end of the game yesterday. From what we know, they're a really good three-point shooting team, so that's probably going to be the main focus of what we do.
Let's start off with questions from the right side over here.
Hey, Nick, Adam Zagoria, New York Times. How you doing, man? I got a nice, easy question for you. Coach Cal has obviously recruited New Jersey really well in recent years. You, Karl Towns, Isaiah. He's got Khalil Whitney coming next year. What does that say about the talent level in New Jersey, Nick? And have you given Khalil any kind of words of wisdom about coming to Kentucky?
I mean, I played with Khalil in high school. I played against him a couple times. He's pretty athletic, pretty aggressive dude. You know, New Jersey overall in basketball is kind of taken over from the tri-state area. You know, you could probably say the high school league and from the tri-state area is New Jersey basketball. That's where all the best teams are. That's where all the best athletes are.
Let's go on the.
Honestly, you know, I think just the overall recruiting that coach has done throughout the whole entire country, not just New Jersey, has been really great. He knows what he wants. He recruits good players. And he gets the players that he wants.
Let's go on the front left. Yes, sir.
Mon Lott, FAMU TV 20 News. This question is for Emmanuel. You were a five-star recruit. How different is this stage playing in a tournament? Is it more pressure for you? You know, how are you taking it?
No, I don't really see it as pressure. I played in some pretty big games throughout my whole life. McDonald's game was pretty big. State championships. I mean, NCAA tournament doesn't compare to like a state championship, but you know, I've been prepared for this my whole life, and it's been a great time being a part of this.
Other questions? Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Let's go in the aisle in the middle, please. We'll get up to you next, Gene.
This could be for either one of you guys. When the bracket was released on Sunday and you saw that Wofford was a potential round of 32 matchup, what was your reaction when you saw it?
I didn't really have a reaction. It's our job to get out on the floor and play as hard as we can and win no matter who we're stepping against, and that's what you have to do to win a national championship. So the teams that we saw, that didn't really matter to me.
Let's go on the right side here, please.
Gene Fournette from the Florida Times Union here in Jacksonville. For any one of you who care to answer it, what limited film you may have watched so far on Wofford, just wanted to get your impressions of Fletcher McGee and whether you've seen a three-point shooter who seems to be so willing to contort his body to get tough shots on the smallest of openings and make them with really an uncommon regularity. What your thoughts are when you see him?
I think what makes him such a good shooter is he has a lot of confidence. He also has a really green light. So when you got that green light, you know you're going to make some and you're going to miss some, and he lives with it. He's a really good player, and we just got to be ready for all that.
Questions? Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. In the very back, please.
Brian Milam, WKYT in Lexington. Early on in the year, the three-point defense was not one of your all's best things that you guys had. Was there a moment this year where the defense really started to click because Cal was really tough on you guys the first month or so?
I think throughout the year, we just had to focus on the little details of like getting through screens and things like that. And they emphasized defending a three the whole year. So they just told us in order to win games, you're going to have to really buckle down and be able to defend the three because there's a lot of teams that can shoot the three.
Other questions? Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone your way. We've got a few minutes left with the guys here. Here on the aisle, please. We'll come in your way.
Coming your way.
Let's go on the front left. Yes, sir.
This question is for Emmanuel. You were a five-star recruit. How different is this stage playing in a tournament? Is it more pressure for you? You know, how are you taking it? John Huang, Nolan Media. This is for Emmanuel and for Nick. You guys, ever since Jamal showed up on campus, we've been told that he's one of the greatest shooters in the history of mankind. Can you really describe to us how great he is?
Great question. Jamal's a great player. Not only is he a shooter, he locks up on defense. He's a really good teammate. He's my roommate, so he's even a better person. But, you know, what he does for our team is great, and he's going to continue to do great things for our team.
Any more questions? We have a little more time left. Any final questions? Right here on the third row, please. Coming your way.
Aaron Gershon, Sea Blue. Nick, Wofford doesn't start anyone that's taller than 6'9". How big of an advantage is that for you, EJ and Reed?
That's a really good advantage for us. You know, they're not even as athletic as all three of us. They're bigs, they're really skilled around the basket. They know how to move on the floor. So, but we're just better than them overall, I think. So, it's all the advantages our way, in my opinion.
Any other questions? All right, guys, thanks a lot. Good luck to you. Appreciate it. Coach Calipari scheduled for 3:30, so about 10 minutes from right now, Coach Calipari will be right here. Thank you.
How far would you like it to? Cool.
All right, Coach Calipari with us. We'll start off with questions for the head coach. Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start here on the aisle. We'll go to you next.
Gary Smith, Florida Times-Union. John, the SEC went 4-0 yesterday. Tennessee looks like it's going to win right now. The only loss right now is Ole Miss, and Mississippi State's playing tonight.
Did Ole Miss lose?
Yeah, they did.
What was the score?
Yeah, not real good. But the SEC has won 5 out of 6 games so far. So could you comment on the state of the conference in this tournament so far?
Well, we had so many close games in our league, games that were down to the last 2 minutes. You know, it just toughened every team up. And so, like, you're looking at a bunch of teams that have walked in and they're good. Our league is really good. We got 7 teams, probably should have had 8. You know, when you see it, and I'm disappointed for Mississippi because they had a heck of a year. I mean, they literally had a heck of a year, and I don't know why that would have happened. I mean, terrific guards and athletes, and then Mississippi State's got to play tonight. Who do they play?
Liberty.
Mm-hmm. They're good too.
Let's go here on the right side, please.
John, Gene Fournette from the Florida Times-Union. As you watch film on Wofford last night, not just about their three-point shooting overall as a team, but Fletcher Magee in particularly, could you talk a little bit about how he seems to not even be fazed about contorting his body to take shots that probably other players wouldn't be comfortable taking? And is there anybody that he reminds you of in any way?
Well, first of all, you got to give it to Coach Young, who says, you have the green light, now respect it, and I'm going to take some of these because I know you're going to make some. Then I heard that he is absolutely in the gym hours on end shooting those shots that you're talking about, that he's in that gym, which is why the coach says all the time you're in there and that's the shots you're taking, you deserve to be able to do it in a game. You know, you try to tell a young team like mine, this isn't football, it's not a touchdown, so don't foul. Make it hard. He's still going to make some of them. Make it difficult for 40 minutes. He's still going to make some of them. You know, when I watched the tape last night, the tapes, and this morning, just a well-coached, offensively, they do what they need to do to win, and they play in a way that they have to play. Their dribble handoffs. I mean, Jackson, I watched the game early in the year, and then I watch him now, so much better. They said Nick was in there saying that our bigs are quicker than, what are you doing, Nick? I mean, but that's okay because, like, if you speak, now what? You back it up. So I love his confidence. Now I want to watch you do it. Now get out there and do it. If you think that. And I want Nick to be more confident, not like that, but on the court, more confident. So.
Let's get a mic, Gene. I'm sorry. Thank you.
The follow-up, does Fletcher Magee remind you of any other three-point type of shooter?
You know who I saw in him and how he played? I thought, and the closest I could get to him is how I used to play, which I used to just shoot every ball like that. And I thought, you know, I saw myself doing those kind of things. And I know I was rated the 41st. There were 40 college coaches better than me I'll go one-on-one right now. Let's go. You got guys older than me. They said they were better than. Come on. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Let's go front left here.
How you doing, Coach? Over here. Amon Lott, FAMU TV 20 News. Reed Travis had 18 points, 9 rebounds yesterday. We talked about Nick Richards as well. Came off the bench, 8 points, 4 rebounds. How big are those two guys going to be in the matchup tomorrow?
How about EJ had 11 rebounds? Wow. You know, I mean, he played well. And it's another game that we're going to have to do that. But, look, they've got athletes at the 4 position, and that's if I'm calling Jackson a 5, which I don't know if he is, that really are long and active and go after it. They've got their 4 or 5 guards who are, you know, 1, 2s, and 3s, and they got 5 of them. that score. A couple of them drive a little bit better. A couple of them shoot. But they're going to take 25, 26 threes in this game. I don't care what we do. They're going to take them. And if they're spinning in the air and they're going in, it's a tough night. I just don't want us to foul them. And so contest. Now, the one thing that we do have is we're long. So we can contest without fouling because of our length. But, again, they've just, the year – I called this. I knew we'd be playing this team, and my team knew. And, because I told them before, we would be playing Wofford because you and I know how hard this game will be, especially with PJ out, how hard a game it'll be for us. I don't think there's any, we're a favorite. I mean, come on now. I mean, this team is legitimate in every form and fashion, including defense, including toughness, including veteran play. Yesterday we started 4 freshmen. So
next question on the right, please.
John, you said PJ out there. Is that official, and do you have any other update on him?
Yeah, I just can't imagine. What they're going to do at some point is cut the cast off and say, okay, they just felt it would heal faster. I know all this. There's conspiracy. I'm telling you, it was negative in every X-ray, MRI. We even did an RIM. I mean, it's a sprain. But we just, and you guys that know me know that I'm overly cautious because it's these kids' careers, and I get it. And I know this, he really wants to play, but I also want to feel comfortable that if he gets on the court, that there's nothing he can do to himself. And the doctors have pretty much said that. So it's just, okay, when is it healed enough that he can go?
Let's go here in the middle on the right side.
Coach Adam Zagoria, New York Times. Obviously, your biggest priority here is Wofford, but you also put a lot of guys in the NBA, and you've made that a priority. How much can guys like Keldon and Tyler help themselves going forward by playing well in this tournament? And have you ever had a guy really kind of help his stock with a big NCAA tournament?
I've had a bunch of guys do that, but it's not just our guys; it's everybody. These kids are all being evaluated this 3-week period. Believe me when I tell you, it overrides anything that's happened all summer. I can remember the kid. I think it was he played for Gary Williams at Maryland, and he wasn't thought of as a player that was going pro, and he went on an unbelievable run I'm forgetting his name right now, in the NCAA tournament, and he ends up being a top 10 pick, and he wasn't a guy that was even on the board that they were thinking about. And I just say this to, for all these kids, and that's why I respect these kids, because not only is the tournament there, the national championship there, their own being and their own family and all the stuff that these my guys are 19-year-olds, have to deal with. I tell them all the time, I respect you guys so much. And then you have like social media, and you have the clutter, and you have the lists, and you have all the other stuff, and they got to block all that out and play. And it's not for funsies. It's for real. And so, that's why this tournament is what it is. You just don't know. And you want to say, well, we know that team's, you don't know. This is hard for these kids.
Let's go in the aisle here, and we'll go here next.
Hi, John. John Huang, NOLA Media. You didn't complain quite as much this year when the brackets first came out. And now CBS has given you 2 relatively decent start times. Do you think that the paranoia of the world against John Calipari may have been ratcheted down a little bit this year?
I just say, is it paranoia if you turn around and a guy's chasing you and you can see the knife? I'm not sure that's paranoia. You just run like hell. I've never, that's not true. I'm not worried about it. I think as I get older, I could care less. My give-a meter is just don't care. And we go on and do what we do. And the crazy thing is it's never really had an effect on me, my programs. It just hasn't. And maybe they figured out, forget about him. We're not hurting him. Let's go hurt somebody else. I don't know. I mean, but pretty dumb question, though, John.
We've got about 5 minutes left. Let's go on the far left, third row. Yes, sir.
Coach Sean Bowdy, Wave 3. Yesterday you were talking about dealing with injuries and especially a short bench. And with a game in such, I guess, quick turnaround like it is now, you mentioned conditioning and how important that is. How much of an advantage do you think that is for your team, especially with a game with such short turnaround?
Anytime you're trying to play 8 guys, it's really dangerous. You know, anything happens, you're down to 7. Another thing happens, you're down to 6. What if the 6 are not the right 6? So it's really dangerous what we're doing, and it could come back to bite us, but guess what? We have no choice. I tried to trade for some guys, and we just couldn't get any bites, so this is who we have. And like today, we went pretty hard and really got them to focus, and I was on some guys because I thought they weren't the energy they needed. They didn't have them, and the reason is you got to fall back on your training. You play to your training, and if you've trained right, you can do that for 40 minutes. And this thing's about playing for 40 minutes, staying focused, staying engaged for 40 minutes of basketball when the other team's trying to do the same thing. And then you may play a team that shoots 25 threes and shoots some of the worst threes and they go in. That could demoralize you. And then all of a sudden you're looking and they're back cutting and they're coming off dribble handoffs and they're making – it is what it is. I mean, at this time, how can you stay focused on us? And I know how good, Wofford is. I know. I've watched them, and I know their top 4 teams in that league. I hate to tell you, they all 4 should have been in the NCAA tournament when you think about who was in their league. But Coach Young, the job he's done with this team, he's been there 17 years. And to put this together and have this, he's a 7 seed. And to come from outside the Power 5 and be a 7 seed, that's a big deal. It's a big, big deal.
Let's go here in the middle, please. Third from the back.
Coach, just in terms of recruiting, had you ever heard or seen of John Morant on the summer circuit or anything? And when's the first time you kind of became aware of him? Because he obviously kind of snuck through the cracks there.
I hadn't, but I'm not like I was as an assistant where I knew every player, and I don't. I know who we're recruiting. And so, no, I didn't. But, what a run he's having, and how good is that for Murray? And I don't know if you know the story that he committed to Murray, and when everybody figured out how good he was, some other Power 5s tried to jump in there and say, we're offering you a scholarship. And he says, nope, I'm going right to these people. They were there. They've been there from the beginning. And what a great story, and what a great thing for Murray. And, he's a terrific player now. Whew.
We've got time for 2 more. Let's go at the very back standing up.
John, you mentioned a team could take a lot of the worst threes you've ever seen, and they go in and it demoralizes.
If they take 25, there'll be about 4 of those, maybe 5, that you say, wow. And then I hear he practices them. He does. So how bad is it if it's a practice shot? I had Jamal Murray, who used to shoot left-handed falling down. Why would you do that? Because I can make it. And I think this kid's exactly the same way. Why did you take that? Because I thought it was going in. I mean, I don't think he shoots one shot that he doesn't think he's making. So is it a bad shot? Maybe you think so, but in his mind, he doesn't. And you know who else doesn't think it's a bad shot? His coach. Where was he when I was playing?
Sorry to interrupt you, Coach. Let's go in the aisle here, please. We'll make this our final question.
John, one of the reasons we love you so much is because of all the
just love me.
The
love
buzzwords.
Me. Everybody here love me.
All the buzzwords and the catchphrases that you throw out to us during the course of the year. One I've really been intrigued by is the idea of the players conquering themselves. That almost sounds spiritual. Where does that come from, and how do you think the players have done in terms of conquering themselves this year?
Before you can conquer someone else, you got to conquer yourself. And I say it all the time. A lot of it means conditioning. A lot of it means pushing through comfort. A lot of it means don't drink that poison when you're flattered. You're so good. You should be taking more shots. You're better than so-and-so. Why aren't you shooting when he shoots? He's fine when you shoot. You come out if you miss. Do you drink that poison? Because if you drink that poison, you can never conquer yourself because you already have built-in excuses. And so for these kids to conquer themselves, to be in the best physical and mental condition in their lives, to master their craft. Are you in the gym? Are you mastering your craft? Well, I should be able to miss 5 straight shots. No, you shouldn't, especially if they're open. They just talked about Villanova making 7 of 8 uncontested shots. That's why they won. They were uncontested. Well, when we're uncontested, we think we should be able to, well, I don't have to make every one. Well, how about making almost all of the uncontested ones and miss some others? All that conquering you, knowing that you're responsible for yourself, knowing you own your performance. You own that. That's conquering yourself. And if you can't conquer yourself, you're not conquering anybody else. And we, as a young team all the time, you got to be able to understand you're not in great shape. You're not focused right now. You're not engaged right now because it's really hard to be that guy. But that's where you conquer yourself. So, yes, there's a lot of stuff that we have to give these kids to think about because it's moves pretty fast around here.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to you.